a lot of visitors today, and I want to thank you all for coming. I'll introduce a few. We have Mayor Tom Leonard, and he would like to say a few words. So while he's working his way over here, I will introduce the rest of them. We have Dr. White and Dr. Ladd and Mary Ladd from Central Office, and Jerry Janice. And we have Mr. Newsom, I think, and Mr. Frederick, and Vicki Graves, Kristen Megan from the Board of Education. So thank you very much for coming. Yes, we do. We have a group of students from Union. You all want to stand up? They met their reading goals at Union, and so they were picked special to get to come to this presentation.
Well, thank you. And on behalf of the City of Ponca City, I want to welcome the OEA, NEA Catavan. You know, I've welcomed a lot of people to Ponca City in my 3 years as mayor, but I don't think I've ever had the chance to welcome 3 people who are as notable and recognizable as these 3. Cat in the Hat, Sam I Am, and thank you very much. And I wanted to take this opportunity just to say a couple of words to the boys and girls who are here, because in Ponca City I want to tell you that kids are important, very important to us. And I've had 5 children that I've raised, and I want to tell you that from the very earliest age we were reading to them, and then they were reading Dr. Seuss. So when I knew I was going to come here today, I got out their favorite book, and mine too. It's called Oh, the Places You'll Go. Have you all heard of that? And this is it. And this is a quote from that book. It's one that I don't know if it's their favorite, but it's certainly mine. And the young men and young women that are here, I think it's very important. It teaches us a very important lesson. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the one who'll decide where to go. That's a very good lesson, not only for the young men and young women here today who are learning about Dr. Seuss and the lessons that he teaches us, but for all of us. And you have a long ways to go, and I'm very proud of the people who are here, and thank you for inviting me today.
Not a bad impression there. Since this was put on specifically by our OEA people here, which our presidents, co-presidents are Mrs. Lewis and Mrs. Stevenson, I'm going to let Mrs. Stevenson introduce the program. Thank you all for coming again.
Boys and girls, I think we want to sing our song for them first. Do you want to do that, our Dr. Seuss? We have a song about Dr. Seuss. I need my 4 people to come.
Put your hands down.
Second graders.
They know. Put your hands down.
Now, students, I always tell people that Garfield students sing better than anybody I know. So let's show them how well we can do, okay? With your arms president of the Oklahoma Education Association, Ms. Carolyn Crowder. Give her a
Okay, thank you for having us here today, and welcome to the Oklahoma Education Association's Read Across America celebration. Now it's called, Now we call this Read Across America because we're not just reading in Ponca City, Oklahoma. There are students and teachers reading in every town and city and burg and tree in this nation today and throughout the rest of the week to celebrate reading. And to explain why we do all of this, I need to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Mrs. Carolyn Crowder. I am a 5th grade teacher, and I also have this really cool job. I am the president of the Oklahoma Education Association, which is OEA for short. And to do that job, this is what I do. I listen to teachers. I work for your teachers. Your teachers tell me what to do. Has that ever happened to you? Yeah. Yeah, and they're good at that. Yeah. And your teachers have told me that reading is extremely important. It's important to do well in your reading, in your subjects that have to do with reading. But you have to read to be able to do science or social studies. You have to read to be able to do math. You have to read those problems. You have to read to know where you're going when you're in the car with your parents. You want to read the road signs, don't you? You hope that they can read the road signs, don't you? And you need to know how to read to be what you want to be. Doctors have to know how to read, and nurses, and of course, teachers, and principals, and lawyers, and everybody that grows up and wants to do something important has to learn how to read. And that's one reason the theme of Read Across America is Oh, the Places You'll Go. And that is a book, as your mayor has pointed out, and he is the coolest mayor I have met so far. It is so cool. He's got rhythm and poise and everything else. Anyway, he pointed out, oh, the places you'll go. Well, that is our theme, because when you read, you can go places that you could never go any other way. And of course, that book was written by Dr. Seuss. And this week is, what is this important date? Raise your hand, somebody tell me. Right there with the pink jacket. Yeah, it's his birthday. Is that what you said? I'm not sure. It's his week, and it's his birthday, too. Okay. His birthday's actually Friday, but we're celebrating it here today. And one reason we use Dr. Seuss is because he not only knew reading was important, he knew reading could be fun. And when you have to practice something as much as you do reading, you need to make it fun. So today I have brought some of Dr. Seuss's fun characters with me today to help us celebrate. And first of all, I want to introduce the Cat in the Hat. Okay, now we've got Sam I Am. And Thing 2. Not quite like everybody else, okay? Does anybody in the audience notice, we've got something missing. I don't know. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not a morning person, but I know there's something missing. Okay, way over here in the shirt that's got red sleeves. What did you say? Thing 1. Yeah, we don't have a Thing 1. We don't, that's a problem. You can't have a Thing 2 without a Thing 1, I don't think. Okay? Well, I have been told that there is another president in the audience. See, since I'm the president, I like to rely on other presidents. And I've been told that you all have a president here at Garfield. And the name of your president is Madison Bookout. Would Madison come down here? Madison, presidents have to be able to solve problems on the spur of a moment. And we need you to just go in with these characters and come up with what we're going to do about the fact that we do not have a Thing 1. Okay, I think they've come up with it. I think they've got something here. Okay, draw the sheet, guys. Hey! Madison, get used to it. You'll be surprised at things that make presidents do. You're going to be good today. She makes a beautiful thing one. In fact, she looks just like thing two. I think they're twins. I mean, really. Well, Dr. Seuss created these characters. They didn't even exist before he wrote about them. And I know that all of you have written stories and created things that didn't exist before you put them in print. And I thought the best person to tell you a little bit more about Dr. Seuss would be one of these characters that he created. It's fun to have a teacher tell you, but it's even more fun to have a character tell you. So now, the Cat in the Hat's going to come up and tell us a little bit more about Dr. Seuss.
Thank you, Carolyn. And thank you, Madison. Is she not a great thing one? Let's hear it for Madison. And Madison's not through. We're going to be doing a lot more with Madison in just a few minutes. Boys and girls, do you know who I am? The Cat in the Hat. And do you know who created the Cat in the Hat? And do you know Dr. Seuss's real name? It wasn't Doctor, and it wasn't even Seuss. That was the name he used when he wrote books, but he had another name. Where? I see a hand at the top. What do you think his name was?
Theodore.
Theodore. Theodore what?
Yes.
I saw somebody else. Okay, shout it out. Theodore Giesel or Theodore Gesell? Now you've all learned something, right? And do you know what? He never signed his name, Theodore Gesell, in any of his books. He always signed it Dr. Seuss. And he created characters like the cat, like my good friend Sam, like my good friends Thing 1 and Thing 2. And he created Yertle the turtle. In fact, your song had Yertle in there. Yertle's our good friend. We couldn't get Yertle up this morning. His head wouldn't come out. So we left him back at the ranch. But he created all of us in storybooks. So was there ever really a cat in the hat? Really, there wasn't. But you know what? Even though Dr. Seuss is deceased, he died a few years ago. He would be 97 this Friday. Even though he passed away a few years ago, the Cat in the Hat, Sam I Am, Thing 1 and Thing 2 still live because they're in his books. Oh, the places you'll go. Your mayor referenced that book. What a great book to talk about the challenges and the opportunities that our minds can take us, and that when we dedicate ourselves to going places, we can really go there. 97-year-old guy, you know that makes him about as old as my first grade teacher. My first grade teacher, his name was Miss Williams. And Miss Williams was probably about 50 when I was in first grade. Where are the first graders? I need to see you raise your hands. First graders? Look at them, they're everywhere. Isn't that cool? All right, everybody else, let's hear it for the first grade. Well, Miss Williams was a wonderful first grade teacher. And a few years ago, when I was in first grade, she taught me a really important lesson, and that was how to read. And today, we're going to do some reading with you. We're going to read one of, I'm sure, your favorite books. In fact, it happens to be Sam's favorite book. Now let me just pose a question to all of you. And adults, I want you to help me out. What is your favorite Dr. Seuss book? And I'm going to give you two choices. The Cat in the Hat or Green Eggs and Ham. Everywhere we go, everybody says that. And it's beginning to affect my personality a little bit. The Cat in the Hat is my favorite book. My picture's on the front of it, my picture's on the back of it, my picture's on every page inside of it. But you all didn't pick it. I know you're trying to appease me and make me feel better, and I'll get over it. I talked to Dr. Seuss about this before he passed away, that my book wasn't the most popular book among boys and girls around the world. It's always green eggs and ham. So what Dr. Seuss said to me was, Cat, I'll try to make it up to you. I'll put your picture on the back of every green eggs and ham book. So I'm still on green eggs and ham. I'm not in it, but I'm on it. And you know my good friend Sam and our new friend Thing One, we're going to come out and we're going to read Green Eggs and Ham. And Madison's going to be our page turner. Oh, and so is the other thing. Thank you, Thing Two. We'll all get in our places with bright, sunshiny faces. Madison, are you ready? Okay, Madison, the only thing you have to do is turn the page as Sam reads, okay? And Thing Two, you'll turn the page for me. Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss. Your favorite book.
Mr. Jet, there
There it is.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love a microphone.
You're going to see why in a minute.
I am Sam. Sam, I am.
That's Sam I am. That's Sam I am. I do not like that Sam I am.
Do you like green eggs and ham?
I do not like them, Sam I am. I do not like green eggs and ham.
Would you like them here or there?
I would not like them here or there. I would not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am.
Would you like them in a house? Would you like them with a mouse?
I do not like them in a house. I will not eat them with a mouse. I do not want them here or there. Help me out.
There.
Good, we're going to do that one more time. I do not want them here or there. I do not want them
Anywhere.
I do not like.
Green eggs and ham.
I do not like them.
Sam I am.
Would you eat them in a box? Would you eat them with a fox?
Not in a box, not with a,
Fox.
not in a house, not with a,
Mouse.
I will not eat them here or
There.
I will not eat them. I
Anywhere.
do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them.
Sam I
Could you, in a car, eat them, here they are.
I would not, could not in a car.
You may like them. You will see. You may like them in a tree.
I would not, could not in a tree, not in a car. You let me be. I do not like them in a box. I will not eat them with a
am. Fox.
I do not like them in a house. I will not eat them with a
Mouse.
I do not like them here or
There.
I do not like them.
Anywhere.
I do not like.
Green eggs and ham.
I do not like them.
Sam I
A train, a train, a train, a train, a train. Would you, on a train?
Not on a train, not in a tree, not in a car. Sam, let me be. I would not, could not in a box. I could not, would not with a I will not eat them with a mouse. I will not eat them in a I will not eat them here or I will not eat them. I do not like.
Eggs and ham.
I do not like them.
Sam I am.
Say, in the dark. You're in the dark. Could you, in the dark?
I would not, could not in the dark.
Would you, could you, in the rain?
I would not, could not in the rain, not in the dark, not on a train, not in a car, not in a tree, not in a, I do not like them, Sam, you see. Not in a house, not in a box, not with a mouse, not with a
Fox.
I will not eat them here or
There.
I will not eat them
Anywhere.
I do not like.
Green eggs and ham.
I do not like them.
Sam, I am.
You do not like green eggs and ham?
I do not like them, Sam, I am.
Could you, would you with a goat?
I would not, could not with a goat.
Could you, would you on a boat?
I could not, would not on a boat. I will not with a I will not eat them in the rain. I will not eat them on a
Plane.
not in the dark, not in a tree, not in a car. Sam, let me be. I do not like them in a box. I will not eat them with a
Fox.
I will not eat them with a mouse. I will not eat them in the
House.
I will not eat them here or
There.
I will not eat them.
Anywhere.
I do not like
Green eggs and ham.
I do not like them.
Sam, I am.
You do not like them, so you say. Try them, try them, try them, and you may, I say.
Sam, if you will just let me be, I will try them. You will see. Say, I like green eggs and ham. I do, I like them, Sam, I am. And I will eat them in the rain, and in a car, and on a
Train.
and in the dark, and in a tree. They are so good, you see. So I will eat them in a box, and I will eat them with a
Fox.
and I will eat them in a house, and I will eat them with a
Mouse.
and I will eat them here
There.
and I will eat them.
Everywhere.
I do so like green eggs and ham. Thank you, Sam, I am.
That was wonderful.
Thing 1 and 2
wasn't it?
did really well, Sam.
They did.
They did better than the cat.
I think so. Yeah.
Let's hear it one more time for things 1 and 2.
I love green eggs and ham. Do you guys like green eggs and ham? Yeah! Have you had green eggs and ham? Yeah! Do you know what? This morning, in the shower, I heard Mrs. Crowder singing in the shower. And she was singing this cool song about green eggs and ham. Would you like to learn it? Yeah! Mrs. Crowder, would you teach us that song?
Okay, because I'm not just a 5th grade teacher, I've been a music teacher, yeah. And have you ever heard anybody say that you have to read music? Raise your hand, heard that? Okay. And when you read music, you don't only just read the words, now you have to be able to read the words, but you have to read the notes, and you have to read the rhythm. And this is a song about green eggs and ham, and you have to have a beat to it. It goes like this. Green eggs and ham. All right, see if you can do that with me. Ready, go. Green eggs and ham. All right, I want to hear, raise your hand if you think you can do a bit, just, you know, you're the best slurper in the world, okay? I need to see, what do you think, Sam? I think we might need, a young man, let's have this young man right here in the middle. He looks like he has eyes on his shirt. Yeah. Oh, and his shoes are on fire. Or something. Okay. Now, what is your name?
Nikolai.
Okay. Now, I want you to do this for me. Yeah. Okay. A star is born here. All right. And one, besides being present, you have to be able to bend your knees. That's it. She can do this. Okay. All right. We're going to start this again. You're going to go with me here. I'll say a verse. You repeat it after me. And anybody can do this. Even fifth graders and mayors and superintendents and school board members. Say it with me. Green, eggs, and ham. Green, eggs, and ham. First you take, okay, just listen to me. I'll say a verse and you do it after me, okay? Find some green eggs and break them, break them. Ready? Go. Find some green eggs and break them, break them. Find some green eggs and break them, break them. Making green eggs and ham. Green eggs and ham. Good. Okay, we've broken the eggs. Now, I like my eggs scrambled, so the next verse goes. Put them in a pan and scramble them, scramble them. Everybody, put them in a pan and scramble them, scramble them. Put them in a pan and scramble them. What are we making? Green eggs and ham. Green eggs and ham. All right, we got them scrambled. Now we need some ham, and we're going to chop it. I want you to hold this, sir. One hand is your ham, the other hand is your knife, and you go. Then we take the ham and we chop it. Chop. Okay, everybody go. Then we take the ham and we chop it. Chop it. Then we take the ham and we chop it. Chop. We make it green eggs and ham. Green eggs and ham. Oh, okay, now we got to put it together. So put it all together and stir it. Stir it. Put it all together and stir it. Stir it. Make it green eggs and ham. Green eggs and ham. Okay, now I fashioned this song once I saw the Cat in the Hat eat, and it wasn't a pretty sight. That's why we don't make you watch it. But the Cat in the Hat doesn't do a green eggs and ham sandwich, okay? And the Cat in the Hat does not use a knife and a fork or even a spoon. That's why we scrambled the eggs and chopped the ham. The Cat in the Hat puts his face in a bowl and slurps it, okay? So the next verse goes, put your face in the bowl and slurp it. Y'all use the tongue thing, you know, you get the tongue way out here, go slurp like this, all right, ready? Put your face in the bowl and slurp it, slurp it. Put your face in the bowl and slurp it, make it green, eggs and ham, green, eggs and ham. This is the most talented slurper I have met. Okay, all right, we have slurped it, we've got it in our mouths. Now, the one thing the cat did learn is his mama cat said, you don't eat with your mouth open. And so, this is what the next verse, we go like this. Okay, ready, everybody? And what was it that we made? It was green eggs and ham. Next time, green eggs and ham. Okay, that was good. Now, to really show that you've got this down, you can read music or you can read rhythm. You can do it all at once. I need everyone to stand. I'd like the mayor and the superintendent school board members to come out here with me right here in the room. Come on. Think one is not the only one in this place with rhythm. I know the rest of them can do it. Here we go. All right. Okay, let's start bending our knees here. Everybody, green eggs and ham. Green eggs and ham. Find some green eggs and crack them, crack them. Find some green eggs and crack them. What are we making? Green eggs and ham. green, eggs and ham. Put it in a pan and scramble it, scramble it. Put it in a pan and scramble it, making green, eggs and ham. Green, eggs and ham. This thing is wet, but I'm still gonna go. Then you take the ham and you chop it, chop it. Then you take the ham and you chop it, making green, eggs and ham. Green, eggs and ham. Put it in a bowl and stir it, stir it. Put it in a bowl and stir it, making green, eggs and ham. Green, eggs and ham. Put your face in the bowl and slurp it, slurp it. Put your face in the bowl and slurp it, making green, eggs and ham. Green, eggs and ham. All right, everybody. And what was that we made? It was green, eggs and ham. Let's have the feeling. Green, eggs and ham. You not only have the coolest mayor, you have the coolest superintendent and school board. This was great. Give them a hand. Okay, we are here for another book. I think Sam I Am has another favorite book. Actually, I didn't say this earlier, but I'm sure you've caught on. Sam I Am is short, and no one else knew this until we started this Academy. Sam is short for Samantha I Am. So from now on, when you read this book, you know that it's really Samantha I Am. Okay, here she goes. I have my trusty page-turner Madison here with me. Thing one, excuse me, correct. The very last book that Dr. Seuss wrote was called Hooray for Dippin' Doofer Day. And it's about this awesome school and these awesome teachers and all these awesome kids, and it's so much like Garfield Academy. But we're going to read that book. Sam. I've also heard that it's about a place called Union, too. I mean, that is really cool. Union, cool. Okay. I've always lived in Poncaville. My friends all live here too. We go to Garfield Doofer School. We're happy that we do. Our school is at the corner of Dink Zuber and Dink Zot. It looks like any other school, but we suspect it's not. I think we're learning lots of things not taught at other schools. Our teachers are remarkable. They make up their own rules. Miss Stevenson teaches listening. Miss Behara teaches smelling. Miss Lewis teaches laughing, and Miss Reese teaches yelling. My teacher is Miss Bonkers. She's as bouncy as a flea. I'm not certain what she teaches, but I'm glad she teaches me. Look, look, she chirps. I'll show you how to tell a cactus from a cow, and then I shall instruct you why a hippo cannot fly. She even teaches frogs to dance and pigs to put on underpants. One day, she taught a duck to sing. Miss Bonkers teaches everything. Of all the teachers in our school, I like Miss Bonkers best. Our teachers are all different, but she's differenter than the rest. We also have a principal. His name is Mr. Lowe. He is the very saddest man that any of us know. He mumbles,
Are they learning this and that and such and such? His face is wrinkled as a prune from worrying so much. He breaks a lot of pencil points from pushing down too hard, and many dogs start barking as he mopes around the yard. We think he wears false eyebrows. In fact, we're sure it's so. We've heard he takes them off at night. I guess we'll never know. Miss Loon is our librarian. She hides behind the shelves and often cries out, "Louder!" as we're reading to ourselves. One day at lunch, we were telling jokes and making noise when Mr. Lowe appeared and howled, "Attention, girls and boys." He began to fuss and fidget, scratch and mutter, sneeze and cough. He shook his head so hard we thought his eyebrows would come off. He wrung his hands, he cleared his throat, he shed a single tear, then sobbed, "I've something to announce, and that is why I'm here. All schools for miles and miles around must take a special test to see who's learning such and such, to see which school's best. If our small school does not do well, then it will be torn down. And you will have to go to school in dreary Stillwater Town." "Not Stillwater Town," we shouted, and we shuddered at the name, for everyone in Stillwater Town does everything the same. It's miserable in Stillwater Town. They dress in just one style, they sing one song, they never dance, they march in single file. They do not have a playground and they do not have a park. Their lunches have no taste at all. Their dogs are scared to bark. Miss Bonkers rose. "Don't fret," she said. "You've learned the things you need to pass that test and many more. I'm certain you'll succeed. We've taught you that the earth is round, that red and white make pink, and something else that matters more. We've taught you how to think." "I hope you're right," sighed Mr. Lowe. He shed another tear. "The test is in 10 minutes, and you're taking it right here." We sat in shock and disbelief. "Oh no," we moaned, "oh no." We were even more unhappy than unhappy Mr. Lowe. But then the test was handed out. "Yahoo!" we yelled, "Yahoo!" For it was filled with all the things that we all knew we knew. There were questions about noodles, about poodles, frogs, and yelling, about listening and laughing and chrysanthemums and smelling. There were questions about other things we'd never seen or heard, and yet somehow we answered them enjoying every word. 1 week later, after recess, Mr. Lowe meandered in. We'd never seen him smile before, but now he wore a grin. He soon began to giggle, then his giggle grew by half, and then it really happened. Mr. Lowe began to laugh. "You've saved our school, you've saved our school," he jubilantly roared. "We got the very highest score," and he wrote it on the board. Miss Bonkers did some cartwheels till her face turned cherry red. She bounded up to Mr. Lowe and kissed him on the head. "Hooray, hooray," she shouted. "I'm so proud I cannot speak." So she did another cartwheel and she pecked him on the cheek. Then we held a celebration. There was pizza, milk, and cake. Like everyone, I ate too much and got a bellyache. We laughed and hooped and hollered the entire school day long. Then we all sang triumphantly the Garfield Doofer song. We love you, Garfield Doofer School, we definitely do. There surely is no other school that's anything like you. You're gribulous, you're grobulous. Each day we love you more. You are the school we treasure and unceasingly adore. 3 cheers for Garfield Doofer School. Hooray!
Hooray! Hooray!
As Sam I Am, I officially declare today Garfield Doofer Day.
You know, I told you about Miss Williams, my first grade teacher. And not long ago, I got to go back to Westville, Oklahoma and find Miss Williams and thank her for teaching me to read some 40 years ago. Because you know, when I was in first grade, I didn't realize that I should have said thank you then. She taught us how to walk in a straight line to go to the bathroom, keeping our hands to our side. She taught us to whisper so that we weren't real noisy. She told us we could have fun when we went out on the playground, and at lunchtime we weren't supposed to throw peas. Seemed like we had peas every day back then. Kind of made you want to throw them, but we didn't throw them, not in first grade. But you know, I went back and I was able to tell Miss Williams, thank you for teaching me to read. And I don't want you to wait 40 years to go find your first grade or your teacher that you have this year to tell him or her thank you. So what we're going to do, on the count of 3, and you can use your loudest voices. Where's the principal? Principal, where's the principal? Is it okay if we use our loudest voices just one time? Oh, thank you, thank you. I love principals. Cats get away with all kinds of things. Principals, thank you. On the count of 3, I want you to look at your teacher, and you're going to say, thank you. For me, it would be, thank you, Miss Williams. Now, can you see your teacher? Everybody look at your teacher. You see him? Okay, teachers, this is going to be pretty noisy, so here we go. On the count of 3, thank you. 1, 2, 3. Oh, good job. Teachers, thank you. Boys and girls, we do appreciate what these teachers do, and we at the Oklahoma Education Association especially appreciate what teachers do. We love Garfield Elementary School, we love Union Elementary School, we love every one of you, and we love your teachers, we love your principal, we love your superintendent, your school board, and you know what? We're going to give them now a round of applause, and let me show you how we do it. Wait, no, this one is very, very quiet. In fact, your hands never touch. And it goes like this. So everybody do it. Let's give them a big round of applause, but it's very quiet. And if you want it to be really, really rowdy, you put your hips into it so it looks like this. Thank you, boys and girls. You've been wonderful. I'm going to give the microphone back to Mrs. Stratton, who's going to read an oath of reading to us.
Okay. If there's someone, I heard that the kids that came from Union, they had to actually qualify to do this. Like, you know, when you qualified for the Olympics, they had to read a lot, they had to do everything they were supposed to. Is there anyone from Union that would like to volunteer to help us end our program? Okay, pink jacket, right down here. Okay, and what is your name?
Katie.
Katie, all right, what a beautiful qualifier. Okay, we're going to read or say an oath of reading, and I'll say a line, and then you will follow Katie as she repeats it, okay? All right, everybody raise your right hand. Sit up very straight. Okay, we got it. Repeat after me. I promise to read.
I promise to read
Each day and each night.
each day and each night.
I know it's the key
I know it's the key
to growing up right.
to growing up right.
The more that you read,
The more that you read,
the more things you will know.
the more things that you know.
The more that you learn,
The more that you learn,
the more places you'll go.
the more places you'll go.
Thank you. Give Katie a hand. Thank you, ma'am. Let's give thing one a hand here, Madison. I would like the famous slurper of Garfield Elementary to please stand. Let's give him another hand. you for being the most fantastic, talented, rhythm-seeking, wonderful audience that we have had so far in the state of Oklahoma. Give yourselves a hand. I know you will go very, very, very many places, and thank you for letting us come here. I think she's trying to get back to normal. Is she usually normal? Is that what you would say about her? Okay, you've got her back. Thank you again. Thank you very much. I would like for the school board and central office people to know that we are having tryouts for our next presentation. We do a lot of dance and movement, and we would like for you need to get with Mrs. Stevenson for our next. We thought that was pretty good. We did have some people that I missed, or they came late. I don't know which one. Chris Littlecook is on the school board, and please stand. And Pat Morris from Central Office Pendlewater, and Andrea Morris is the past school board person. Thank you very much for coming. And we had some guests too. Just guests. Wait, we're glad to have you. I'm not sure who everybody is, but thank you for coming. Students, you did a wonderful job. We had on our good behavior today, and we're going to sing Dr. Seuss as we go back to class. Oh, they have a CD they want us to play. Okay. Thank you, and you are watch your teachers for dismissal.
Mrs. Reese's first place store. Who the places you will go. Their cat pictures and their banner to welcome the cat band. This is Mrs. Goforth's room. Colorful Polaroids of the places you will go by Dr. Seuss. And all the kids have taken pictures. Mrs. Hood's Can't Travel, Read a Book. Let your imagination travel, or soar, I guess, soar. Book will take you away for all the places you will go. Mrs. Tapp and Behara have been studying the rainforest. So they've got this hallway. Okay, smart Alec. Caroline is giving me a hard time. Yeah, Mom will appreciate that. And then they've got their balloon here with